In the heart of the vast and unforgiving wilderness of North America, the wind howled through the dense forests, carrying with it the secrets and stories of the land. Among the Algonquian-speaking tribes, such as the Ojibwe, Saulteaux, Cree, Naskapi, and Innu, the legend of the Wendigo was born. These tribes, deeply connected to nature, understood the precarious balance of life and the thin line between survival and death. It was within this context of survival, isolation, and the harsh winters that the Wendigo legend took root. The Wendigo, according to the elders, was not just a creature, but a malevolent spirit that embodied the very essence of hunger, greed, and the darkness that could consume a person. It was said to roam the northern forests, preying on those who ventured too far from their communities. The stories describe the Wendigo as a gaunt, skeletal figure, its desiccated skin stretched tightly over its bones, giving it an appearance of a walking corpse. Its eyes were sunken deep into their sockets, glowing with an eerie, malevolent light, and some stories even depicted it with antlers like a stag, adding to its terrifying visage. The Wendigo was more than just a monster. It was a cautionary symbol. It represented the consequences of gluttony, greed, and the violation of social taboos, particularly cannibalism. During times of famine, when food was scarce and survival seemed impossible, the Wendigo was said to appear, embodying the darkest potential of human nature. The winter of 1787 was one of the harshest on record. The snow piled high, burying the villages and the food stores. The game that usually sustained the people had migrated or perished, leaving the tribes to face starvation. The stories say that it was during this brutal winter that a hunter named Maka from the Ojibwe tribe encountered the Wendigo. Maka was a respected hunter, known for his strength and skill. But as the winter dragged on and the food supplies dwindled, desperation began to set in. One frigid night, as Maka ventured deeper into the forest in search of game, he lost his way. The cold gnawed at his bones, and his hunger grew unbearable. After days of wandering, Maka stumbled upon the remains of another hunter, frozen and lifeless. Driven by his starvation, Maka made a choice that would seal his fate. He consumed the flesh of the dead hunter. The act of cannibalism was not just a physical act, but a spiritual transgression. It was said that the moment Maka tasted human flesh, the spirit of the Wendigo took hold of him. His body began to change, his humanity slipping away as he transformed into the very creature that haunted the darkest nightmares of his people. The Wendigo spirit had found a new host. Maka's transformation was gradual and horrifying. His skin stretched tight over his bones, his eyes became sunken and hollow, and a ravenous hunger consumed him. He became the Wendigo, stalking the forests and preying on the weak and vulnerable. The legend of Maka's transformation spread quickly, serving as a dire warning to others about the consequences of desperation and the taboo of cannibalism. The legend of the Wendigo did not end with Maka. The curse of the Wendigo was said to be eternal, a never-ending hunger that could never be satisfied. Those who became Wendigos were doomed to wander the forests, forever searching for their next meal, their humanity lost to an insatiable craving. In another tale, a group of fur traders traveling through the northern forest during a particularly harsh winter found themselves stranded. Their supplies ran out, and the cold was relentless. Desperation turned to madness, and one by one they succumbed to the hunger. Among them was a man named Joseph, who, like Maka, resorted to cannibalism to survive. The Wendigo spirit found him, and he too transformed into the monstrous creature. Joseph's transformation was swift and brutal. His companions, realizing what he had become, fled in terror. Joseph, now a Wendigo, was consumed by an insatiable hunger. He hunted the forest, his mind lost to the primal need to feed. The story of Joseph the Wendigo became another chapter in the legend, a reminder of the darkness that could overtake a person when pushed to the brink. The Wendigo legend was not just a tale of horror, but a powerful moral lesson. It emphasized the importance of community, sharing, and supporting one another. In the face of extreme hardship, it was the bonds of the tribe and the adherence to social norms that ensured survival. The Wendigo served as a stark warning of what could happen when those bonds were broken and taboos were violated. Among the tribes, the role of the medicine man was crucial. They were the keepers of knowledge, healers, and spiritual leaders. It was said that the medicine men could recognize the signs of the Wendigo and knew the rituals to protect the tribe from its curse. One such medicine man was Cheveo, a wise and respected leader among the Cree. He had dedicated his life to studying the spiritual world and understanding the forces that governed their existence. When stories of Wendigo sightings increased, Cheveo knew he had to act to protect his people. Cheveo gathered the elders and explained the situation. He spoke of the Wendigo spirit and the importance of staying united and strong in the face of adversity. He led the tribe in rituals and ceremonies designed to ward off evil spirits and strengthen their communal bonds. But Cheveo also knew that practical measures were necessary. He organized hunting parties to search for food, ensuring that no one would be driven to the desperate act of cannibalism. Despite their efforts, the hunger persisted. One night, a young hunter named Nikan disappeared into the forest. Days later, he returned, changed. His eyes were hollow, and his body was gaunt. The tribe knew what had happened. Nikan had become a Wendigo. Cheveo faced a difficult decision. He knew that the Wendigo could not be allowed to remain among them, but he also understood that Nikan had been a victim of desperation and hunger. The tribe held a council, and it was decided that Cheveo would confront Nikan and perform a ritual to banish the Wendigo spirit. The confrontation was tense and heartbreaking. Cheveo approached Nikan with compassion, chanting the ancient prayers and invoking the spirits of their ancestors. The Wendigo spirit fought back, but Cheveo's resolve was strong. In a final, desperate struggle, Cheveo managed to drive the spirit out, but the effort cost him his life. The tribe mourned the loss of their medicine man, but his sacrifice had saved them from the Wendigo's curse. As time passed, the legend of the Wendigo evolved. The story spread beyond the Algonquian-speaking tribes, captivating the imaginations of people across North America. Writers, filmmakers, and artists found inspiration in the haunting tale, bringing the Wendigo into popular culture. In the early 20th century, Algernon Blackwood's short story, The Wendigo, introduced the creature to a wider audience. Blackwood's tale captured the essence of the legend, describing the Wendigo as a terrifying force of nature that preyed on the unwary. The story resonated with readers, solidifying the Wendigo's place in the pantheon of horror literature. The Wendigo also found its way into film and television. In the 1981 movie Ghost Keeper, the creature was portrayed as a supernatural entity haunting an abandoned lodge in the Canadian Rockies. The film's eerie atmosphere and suspenseful storytelling brought the legend to life on the big screen. In recent years, the Wendigo has appeared in popular TV shows like Supernatural and Hannibal, each interpretation adding new layers to the legend. In Supernatural, The Wendigo is depicted as a relentless predator hunting in the forests, while in Hannibal, the creature serves as a metaphor for the main character's descent into madness and cannibalism. Despite its many interpretations, the core of the Wendigo legend remains unchanged, a cautionary tale about the darkness that can consume a person and the importance of community and moral integrity in the face of adversity. The legend of the Wendigo continues to captivate and terrify, but it also carries a powerful message. It serves as a reminder of the thin line between civilization and savagery, the importance of upholding social bonds, and the dangers of unchecked greed and desperation. In the face of hardship, the Wendigo legend teaches us to rely on one another, to share what we have, and to support those in need. It warns against the isolation and despair that can drive people to commit unspeakable acts, reminding us that our humanity is defined by our compassion and connection to others. As the winds howl through the forests and the snow falls silently on the trees, the spirit of the Wendigo lingers, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lies within us all. But it is also a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of community. In the heart of the wilderness, under the cold, watchful moon, the Wendigo waits. Its legend, etched into the fabric of the land, continues to whisper through the trees, a story of terror, transformation, and the eternal hunger that can never be sated. The story of the Wendigo is not just a tale of horror, but a reflection of our deepest fears and the moral lessons that guide us through the darkest times. It is a story that will continue to be told, reminding us of the importance of holding on to our humanity, even in the face of the most dire circumstances. And that is the legend of the Wendigo, the cannibalistic monster. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this story.